Go order. First thing is to review and approve April 29th, 2025 minutes.
The accepted as presented to us.
Second.
All in favor? Review and approve May 13th, 2025 warrant.
Move we approve the warrant.
Second.
Good.
All in favor?
I notice that this warrant includes the money for the generator testing and for the power plant, transfer switch deposit.
Good.
It should be on the way with it.
And after that, we're gonna be all set with it.
Well, Robin was mentioning, which is a hell of an idea, that we ought to get a Jersey barrier too, so nobody backs into it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked to Chris about that several times, but,
Especially like gas, like gas tank?
yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely want one.
Yeah, we talked about several times, reminder, I guess. Particularly now that the kids are out there.
Yeah. Property tax abatement for Kevin and Sandra Minor. And RHR Smith and Company, CPA, Town of Alden draft audit report.
You guys read it?
Yeah.
I went through the whole thing. It says we survived another year.
Oh, good.
There's one page here. It says the town has sufficient unassigned fund balance to sustain government operations for a period of approximately 2 months, while also maintaining significant reserves for future capital and program needs. That's generally what we tried to aim for, only 3 months instead of 2. That's what the general rule of thumb is. But I've had auditors tell me, something different. If you've got a lot of reserve accounts, then you could pull them open into those if you needed to get through a tight period. Generally, what you're worried about is draining down your undesignated funds when there's a period when you're not receiving any taxes, the books
Yeah.
are down. So I don't know, as we go through the next budget, we maybe should think about that. Other than that, things seem to be okay.
Okay. Town Hall Community Center bid for siding.
I see that, it's, right in line with what we accounted for, right, budgeted for.
Yeah, I'm, gonna refrain from this, cause I think he's within the defined, degree of relationship. I think he's the
I was
second
gonna say,
cousin.
same last name. Go ahead.
I mean, the reason he put it in is I told him to, go down and look at it.
Okay.
Gives a big example. I don't know about the .042, is that,
Yeah, that's what was in there. Ideally, you know, the best is 44 to 46, the cheapest 38 to 40,
okay,
42 to mid-grade, you know. And it's really only, I can't say a few bucks, cause it adds up, but, so AB Construction, is that his company? Was that, I see the email, AB Construction,
Yeah.
yeah,
the email came from his wife,
yeah, okay.
I think.
I didn't know we still had AOL.
I will refrain from,
Yeah. It's too bad, cause you can only, you're the only one that can pull a character witness on it.
well, I can tell you, he's done 3
Yeah.
jobs for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with the level of interest we've had, I would say go ahead and, let him do it.
Wanna do it?
Yeah. Make a motion,
Now, second
we
it?
accept the bid.
No, okay. Is there anything we need to sign, or?
Not at this point. Draw up a contractual document for him when it comes to actually start.
That's the whole building, right?
It's for the oven stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it goes around the front, that's what I showed him, so it goes around the front here of this, you know, it's got the beacon part, goes
Yeah.
all the way around, back and around the back side on the, here as well.
Okay.
And that's what we measured when we,
20 some odd square or something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, it needs it.
and he said he would put up one of those PVC boards up on there to mount the sign on.
To bring it off the side
Bring it off
myself,
the siding.
yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, if it works, it'll be good advertising for him, right?
Yeah,
Vanguard Savings Town account.
Is that something we need to get into? That, I mean, I know it's only $50 a month, but does it, I mean, I'd have to refer to Deb to see if it would,
Yeah.
What, the question was, what are we doing to protect our money in the event that all the banks go belly up and we need the FDIC insurance? And the answer is that Bangor Savings does what a lot of people, industrials and companies with their money in banks, is have the bank, their main bank, spread it out into several banks.
It's a sweep,
Yeah.
it's a sweeping process, so it sweeps it out and then back in as you need it to keep it safe.
So you don't have more than $250,000 in,
when you can put
technically
it,
in one account.
One account, so.
and as it goes into the account you don't need, we gain interest on it, correct?
Yeah,
Minuscule, but
Yeah.
something.
2.5%.
Yeah. Yes.
He has, a product in place after speaking with Debbie that, does that, but this offers much more protection, for it being business municipality.
Sounds good to me.
insurance.
Yeah.
So we have to make a motion to accept it?
No, I think she can do it.
I think so, yeah.
Go ahead and do it.
Code enforcement officer, LPI position. We've reached out to Don Sharp, and he hasn't responded back to us yet about an interview. And he said, our kid said he's gonna,
He followed up when he hadn't heard back from us, and I told him that we were, waiting for
yeah,
an additional applicant to, to have an interview. But I hadn't heard back.
so far we've only got that one. Is there another one in the loop?
Well, this afternoon,
Yeah.
a young gentleman picked up, an application, and he's to bring it back in tomorrow.
Where's he from?
I'm not sure of all the particulars.
Okay.
I know his grandfather, has been in and worked with us, in the past with different things, through code enforcement and stuff.
Okay.
So much, we'll take a look at it, but I wouldn't wanna put this off too much longer.
No, I was hoping to get a decision tonight, but,
Yeah.
I mean, if, I don't know the kid, just give him an opportunity, I suppose. Maybe we can get it done before next Tuesday and
We,
come up with something.
just say, close out new offers unless there's somebody with experience comes in.
Right. Now, if he comes in tomorrow, can you set up something, interview, so we can do it right off, and
Yep.
maybe by next Tuesday we can make a decision.
I won't be here Thursday, Friday, and Monday, so,
Of this week.
of this week. So I leave tomorrow, or just leave me in Habit, I suppose,
On Tuesday,
or Tuesday afternoon.
Before, yeah.
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 I was, pulling into the, Tri-Town this afternoon. Some guy came out with a Corvette, and I went in and I said, Joe, who drives a Corvette to the dump? You know what he said? My new employee.
For real?
Yeah, the guy just looked at us on the deal, he just said, oh boy, he lives right there on New Settlement Road, and,
Yeah.
perfect part-time job for him.
Yeah.
Better watch where he parks after.
Cove Beach attendant position. We'll put it ad in the paper again?
Yep.
Okay.
Bill Libby's not able to.
Yeah.
Bill's not able to come back.
What about, Steve Bennett?
I don't know where he's at, because he wasn't able to do it last year. So, we can certainly check, but, otherwise we'll need to advertise.
Yeah, we're steering away from that a little bit, Chad, just, with his health issues and things like that,
Other things.
yeah. Yeah. Not that he's out of the running, but, he went there last year, and did you enjoy working with him?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
All right, reminders, nothing going on this week. We got, a big sale this weekend coming up in the auxiliary.
There's not a senior citizens luncheon?
No, it's next week,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Trying to liquidate, having a place this month, so.
No, just once, but we.
All Memorial Weekend for us, good job.
Yeah, that, yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of stuff, so.
The multi-purpose room is pretty full.
And we got more stuff to bring down too. Yeah. Yep. Benjamin, stop bringing stuff. We did another offer the other day. Guy cleans out houses, wants to bring extra stuff that he can't handle to us.
Not sure what that means.
So, we're gonna be selling stuff cheap, just to get rid of the stuff. We got a lot of glass items and stuff, so. Joe?
Yes. I received an email from Victoria Abramowitz,
Yeah.
Resigning from the planning board.
Oh, really?
I will forward it, on
Okay.
to you guys. And, I wanted to suggest, as you know, I've been campaigning strongly for two things in the appointment of planning board members. Young and Shakopee.
Yeah.
And I've got two suggestions for you. Ricky Day and Kyle Estes.
Kyle?
They're both businessmen here in town.
Yeah.
They're brought up in town. They're committed to this town.
Have they reached out to you?
No, they haven't. I think if you're gonna find people that are worthwhile, you're gonna have to reach out to them. You know, I mean, I talked with one of them, and it was like, oh, I'll think about it. So at least, I planted a seed.
Yeah.
But I think these are people you would have to go and talk to.
Oh, yeah.
They're quality people.
Yeah, yeah.
And the problem is if you advertise, you're gonna get somebody like me who's over 70 and's got nothing to do. And, and so fine, all right, I'll do the planning board. And, we got 4 people on a board of 6 that are over 70.
Yeah.
I'm
So you
I'm
want
really looking
some younger people in there to kind of take over the reins a little bit, yeah.
And the planning board traditionally has been a place where people maybe unfortunately, get involved in town politics from there, and so this is a chance to bring people in, that may run for selectmen later.
Yep.
But, we've gotta think of that for the town's sake.
Yeah.
Who are the alternates now, Joe?
I think Mariella is the only alternate. I thought Mike was. What? Wasn't Mike an alternate?
Yeah.
Michael Mike
Mike
Houston.
Houston. Didn't he get promoted when Mariella came on? Or-
No,
He didn't want it.
no, so
Oh,
Mike
okay.
Houston and Victoria was an alternate.
Yes.
So Mariella is a full planning board
Oh,
member.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
We have traditionally not worried about that,
Yeah.
Just happy to have people there.
happy to have people there and give them the respect of, they sit there through it, I respect their opinion, And that's just the way it may not be according to state law, but it's how we've done it forever.
Mm-hmm. That's the bad, she's young, so it's, okay. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it?
Any notes? No, that was it. Thanks.
Kathy?
No, not right now.
Mary?
No, thank you for asking.
No, what's that? Chad?
I'm all set.
Yes, sir? You gotta get your stickers ordered, I guess, and
I'll be orders extras too.
extras?
We ran out last year.
Oh,
I had to reorder.
oh, yeah. Robin?
The bleachers have been fixed and they look great.
Oh,
What was that?
The bleachers.
Okay.
So it looks like, this one has had a complete overhaul, and then one of the boards on this middle bleacher here.
That was the only one that was really,
Yeah.
I mean, all of them were aged, but they were still
Yeah.
solid, so.
no.
So, I think there's one new board left over out there, but they look great, and, so that's good. And then the larger porta potties were delivered.
Very nice.
I'm not sure about Sand Pond Beach, but this one out here definitely was, and,
Do we use Toys R Us for that stuff?
Mhm.
Yeah.
yep.
I see they raise their prices and plastics, that's what I use, and,
Yep,
yeah,
well,
now they
it-
have to charge a sales tax on top of their price now, too.
well, in part, cause the handicap,
Yeah.
the larger one is a bit more money.
No.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was
Well,
all
you're kind of
rightfully,
the one that thought about getting people over here.
well, that's what we always did, you know?
Yeah, it's
Most
awesome.
of the
I
time,
think it's great.
yeah, and then they did it within a week.
All right,
Yeah.
I think it's awesome,
Not even,
thank
he
you.
picked up the material Thursday and it's done today, so.
Yeah, thank you for doing that.
That's the best, yeah.
And there's always been a good group on the rec council,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Bob, you got anything?
Yeah, we need to start thinking about working on the budget.
Already?
Yeah, well, you know, we always get jammed up at the end,
Right.
and, if there's anything that you can think that we need to put in the budget, that we don't traditionally do, I would say, just kind of get an estimate on it and
Yeah.
kind of plug it in there. I think we're hitting most of the upgrades with the generator, the transfer switch, we've gotten the roof, the siding here.
Yep.
There's the one thing that I don't like still is the panel board down in the old part.
Mm-hmm.
Ancient circuit breakers, I think they must have gone in when the building was built.
Probably, yeah.
Somebody give us an estimate on that one?
Chris Boucher looked at it when the after-school program was here,
Yeah.
and he was, meant to come back, I think, but he's super busy. So I can reach back out to him.
Yeah, I think for now, we just need an estimate of what it would be.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what kind of even wires coming into it, whether that's even up to code, you know? It could turn into
Probably not.
a nightmare for us. But we should find out,
All the way
yeah,
wired. Yeah.
through the service cables, you know, they've upgraded them over the years, is that an old copper, is it aluminum, is it,
Don't know what's behind the panel,
you know?
but the circuit breakers are to protect the wire. So they're, what should go first? Anyway, I don't know, is there anything else I think we should do?
Where are we at with the chimney situation? Was he booked up for a little while, or?
Chimney?
Yeah,
I was, actually, that was one of my talking points, I was gonna reach out, first of all, find out if it's okay to shut the heat off for a couple, 3 days, right?
yeah, we were waiting
I
on
would
that.
think, and, so I'll reach out to him, send him a text tonight, see where he's at.
When Bob was checking off all the repairs, that came to mind.
Yeah,
But I knew we were waiting until we got to beyond the heat.
yeah, that was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is to get that tree down there cut away from the side of the building,
Yeah.
it's rubbing on the roof. Directs
Was
water.
it both of them, or just that one on the end? It's
That
got
one
both
down
of
on
them
the
it.
end there, there's a, it's right up close.
Yeah, it's thrown
Maple
into
tree,
an
yeah.
hole, yeah, when we were up there, it was scratching the hell out of everything.
Somebody was gonna take it for firewood, but they didn't. All right, well, just something to think about.
Yeah,
Got anything else?
I'm just kinda curious, I know we had edited comp plan, which I have in front of me, when do the comprehensive committee plan on saying this is our final and put it up to a vote?
Well, the discussion the other day was, it's, with the comments that were rolled into it,
Mhm.
it's final.
Okay,
There's a couple of other little tweaks that were suggested in some language in the preamble, but, And then I was asked when it was recommended for it to come to a town meeting, and my recommendation would be at the town meeting, at the regular town meeting in September.
Jeez, it's gonna take a long time, especially if people have a problem with it, you know? 'Cause,
Well, I don't know, it's,
yeah, I mean, we can do it that way.
Generally, they go pretty quick.
Yeah. That depends on when people interpret. I've interpreted a few things. The only reason I brought it up is because I have various issues with it, which I'll let you know. I'll go by and highlight them, and whether anybody cares or not, but that's my issue with it, you know. So I'm just curious how, so you're not in a big hurry just to put it right through then? So time to talk about it a little more.
The other thing we discussed is that it's already been to a public hearing, so we don't need to go to another one.
Right.
Public hearing, and comments have been incorporated, so.
Okay.
If I could, Dale, I suspect that there will be a meeting or two more meetings,
Okay.
and I would love to hear your comments.
Yeah.
Myself, I'd love to hear your comments.
Yeah.
At one of those meetings or privately, I don't care which, but I would.
Well, you guys know me at like 1 or 2 o'clock, so it almost makes it impossible for me.
Well, I would make time for you whenever
I could,
you would
yeah,
like to have
yes,
time
yeah.
made for you.
I mean, with all the work, you know, and I need to see it like, you know, thrown out by a bunch of angry people that interpret it a different way,
I mean, I think Matt would say the same thing.
Yeah.
If you wanted to meet on the evening, I'm sure we could do it on an evening.
I mean, if the committee's getting together, I'd be more than happy to come and sit and,
Okay? I will tell Matt.
that's it.
All right, that's that.
One other thing, is the end of the building gonna get taken care of, all that mess from the leak on the roof? Where the metal got put over the top and there's a staining down on the bottom? Is that rotten? Is that need repair? Is that part of this repair is gonna be done?
On the far end?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Out in front?
no. You look at, I look right by it, I guess, is it like in total disrepair, you mean? Or, I know they did some work to it and covered the windows with.
Yeah, but down on the ground level with all that mold and rot and,
I'll tell you what.
To the side?
it's concrete, it's got a hole in it and
The
it's
whole
disgusting.
system down there is not good.
Old.
Well, it used to be windows,
Mhm.
and then they took out some of the windows and put some fiberboard up with a
Right.
metal sheathing on it,
Yeah.
and that stuff is slowly rotted through the wooden framing and into the building and stuff, and then you and I,
Took that metal off too.
put the metal up over it to divert.
It kept, that did the job.
It did the job,
Kept-
yeah, it did
kept
well.
the leak, kept it from leaking.
The only thing we still get is every now and then when the wind blows the wrong way, it'll blow water up under the
Yeah.
eave sheathing, and you and I went down there and cocked it up the other day, or, last year, in Rydale,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and we were looking at the rocket hole on the roof. And then, but we got the same issue on the other side, it's, particularly where that tray holds the water in as it comes down, it splashes it up against the side, and it needs painting, it needs, the whole thing needs to be replaced, actually. Which is the bigger question, is, you know, are we gonna keep the thing for long term or not? I don't know. You know, it's, we've gone through this process of trying to get money for a future fire station,
Right, I remember.
and,
But now things have changed and we don't know where we stand.
yeah, we don't know if the, solar farm is gonna go or not.
Right, that's true too.
That thing is off iffy with the current, renewable energy issues. And then I know, the fire chief talked fondly about Susan Collins giving us grants, but I think the whole earmarking probably is going out the window again.
Mhm.
So, you know,
So you don't think that those damaged parts to the building are hazardous? They're not gonna?
I don't think so.
Part of the building fall apart, or
No.
have nasty molds seeping in, or?
No, well, there's probably some mold in the walls down there, we know that there was. But I think we've stopped it.
Okay.
But it's a huge project. to
It
build,
is, I got it, I understand.
And, I don't have an answer to it. I think it's a longer term plan as to what to do for facilities. Do we really need that out in the building? You know, it's nice to have it.
We
but-
think so.
Well, of course, I mean, it's
I don't wanna go do all that stuff.
Who's that, George Carlin, you know, your possessions, grow to fit the space you have available.
That's right, yeah, yeah, yeah,
And surpass it.
And
surpass
yeah, that's right.
When Matt Sanborn was in working on all of the heating issues that we had when we had the freeze up, he actually said that oldest part of the building is better constructed than this part. And in terms of if we were to do any reservations or renovations or consider keeping a part, he would recommend fixing that end.
Mhm.
Because there's space up above to run ductwork and
Okay,
retrofit things,
interesting.
and,
So as on an HVAC perspective, that's.
overall,
Yeah.
but he did say construction-wise, that he thought that it was better constructed than this newer end of the building.
I'm a toss-up, I guess.
Well, I know that in the basement, you have these big steel I-beams for cross members down there, so this place is not gonna fall in.
Cool.
But as with anything, you've gotta maintain it, you know, and that,
Yeah.
the roof probably could use some care before, I mean, you know, we had the rocket damage, but
Yeah, that's all right.
if
I
the
think
tree,
that was okay.
if the tree's rubbing on it, you know, I don't know, cause if it doesn't, if, you know, if it wears in a certain spot.
The roof is good, I just think the sidewalls are,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But most people think it's nothing that, you know, a few bulldozers couldn't repair.
Right.
I know.
That's most people's thoughts, I think.
Yeah, it's easy to say, so.
But, I mean, for what we paid for this whole building,
Mhm.
I mean, look at Parsons Field, Porter, I mean, they paid over $1 million for what they've got, and it's nothing.
which reminds me, the TIF laws have changed so that if that solar farm does go, some of that TIF money can go to repairing this building, whereas before it couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
They keep
interesting.
chipping away at the restrictions.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
This the company that just requested the extension? Is it?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I don't know what their likelihood of success is.
yeah, no, I mean, I just throw out, I'm not holding my breath on that one, just because of the way, you know, Maine's saturated with it right now, and nobody needs the power, and
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the infrastructure
You don't
will
get the
change
kickbacks
dramatically
like you
in order to
used
handle
to.
more load, so, yeah.
yeah.
Batteries was the only other alternative as far as that went.
No, we'll see.
Yeah,